And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live on the road. We're here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. We do this every Wednesday, and here we is again. Ready to bring it to you again on a beautiful fall-like. It's going to heat back up, but it's nice out there this morning. Coming over at 61 degrees here in the Tri-City, so we like it. Little twinge of fall in the air. Going to heat back up, but it's 61 degrees. Probably got down to the 50s here this morning, and even cooler in the mountains, so kind of not really a tease. It's mid-August, so you know that fall's not that far away. I love fall, but what comes after that I could do without. Snow and ice and all that garbage. Winter storm warnings, icy roads. Not good, could care less, but that's all right. When you live here, you got to deal with it. So good morning to you. You see the countdown, 2 days away from high school football. Opening night for everybody in Northeast Tennessee. 2 days, 9 hours, 13 minutes, and 5 seconds in counting. We're fired up, jacked up, ready to go. Let's bring him in. T.R. Dunn singing the national anthem to get it started. We got Andrew Smith coming to the bottom of the hour, our sports writer friend from the Johnson City Press. Top of the hour, Greg Salyer, our Major League Baseball guru. The Braves are hot. Look out, here they come. And we want to say an also chance to talk to Ben Fox, head football coach at Maryville University, the land of the Fighting Scots. That and a whole lot more. Here he comes, T.R. Dunn with the national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave.
It's exciting Elizabeth and Cyclone football. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Eddie Pless and yours truly Friday night for the 2024 season opener against the longtime rival Scienceville Hilltoppers at home at Citizens Bank Stadium. In fact, it's the 100th meeting between the two. Airtime at 7 o'clock, kickoff 7:30, video and audio with the Cyclone Network. Cyclone football this Friday night at home against Science Hill. It all starts at 7 o'clock here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Cyclones! We're fired up for it, I can tell you that. Coming up in 2 nights from tonight, opening night of high school football. And for us, the Cyclones and the Science-Hill Hilltoppers, we've talked about it. The 100th meeting between the two schools, and it's going to be a good one. Cyclones have won 5 out of the last 6 against Science-Hill, but that will mean nothing come 7:30 on Friday night. It'll be level playing field, even Stevens, as a matter of fact. And it'll be all wipe the slate clean. It'll be all about what's going to happen on Friday night. Who else is playing Friday night? Opening night, Happy Valley goes to Cloudland. Cherokee at Cobb County. South Green will be at Crockett to battle the Pioneers. Dobbins Minute hosting Farragut Friday night. Tennessee High will open up in Greenville. You have Morristown West and Morristown East, West Green and North Green. Hampton, the Bulldogs go to Pigeon Forge on Friday night. Johnson County will be at Sullivan East. Unaka, the Rangers hosting Chucky Doak Friday night. Iroquois County hosting Northview Academy. Volunteer will be at Westridge. Of course, our ball game, Science-Hill to Elizabethton, the 100th meeting between the two. So it's going to be good. Can't wait to bring it to you starting at a little bit before 7 o'clock. We've got so much to talk about. Probably start a little early. Thanks to Coach Eddie Pless, who'll be there with us. Lots of information. He's breaking down the history. Our color commentator of the 100-year anniversary of this football game. It's called the Railroad Rumble. Big trophy. Teams will go to the trophy case to take, and right now it's in the Elizabethton trophy case. So we're looking forward to it. Be here in a couple of nights. Tomorrow night, we open things up. Our broadcast schedule for the year. We'll stream volleyball, Lady Cyclone volleyball, against Chucky Doak tomorrow night, right around 6:15, thereabouts. Looking forward to that tomorrow night. And then football on Friday night, and away we go. Got one, Monday, Tuesday? I can't remember. They're all next week. Almost every night of the week we're out for the betterment of September before it slows down a little bit. And we transition from football right into basketball, into baseball, and boom. You look up, it's year-end graduation. It flies by, I'm telling you. All right, changing the surface of college football, you better believe it. Big news out of Alabama. They have hired general manager Courtney Morgan. Now, he's a general manager of a college football team. This is the new way we're going. You heard it here. I don't know if you heard it here first, but you're hearing it here. It's going to make an average of $825,000 over 3 years. You can do the math. Well over $200,000 a year. As the general manager / head of recruiting. Now, some would say that's nuts. Some would say that's insane. Others say it's a great move. Alabama hadn't played a game or signed a recruiting class yet under the new coach, Kalen DeBoer. Others loved it because they felt like the salaries, and of course, if you're in that position, you just got yourself a pay raise. Courtney Morgan told Southern Cal no to $1 million contract to stay in Alabama with DeBoer. Now, ahead of the new salary cap that's coming out because of the landmark House settlement agreement that's yet to be finalized, of course. They know the amount. They just don't know how everybody's going to get the money. It could mark, no, it's not could, it will mark, it is marking a new trend in college football. Investing greater resources in a position of critical importance, which is recruiting. Transfer portal, name, image, likeness, recruiting. Got to have it. You can't, well, in fact, the quote says, one of these guys says, you can have the best X's and O's, but if you don't have the dudes, it doesn't matter, and he's right. To be able to have somebody or people at the top evaluating, keeping the guys there, negotiating contracts, all that stuff. We're getting more and more to the NFL model. Absolutely. General managers in college football, unbelievable. But that's where we're headed. And this young man opened up Pandora's box, guarantee it. So, how much leverage will this guy have? That's going to be the question. Or her, it could be a lady as well. The GM role in college football. All right. This guy's the head of recruiting and staying on top of what's going on with the name, image, likeness, and so on and so forth. Is he more important than the head coach? Can they fire the head coach and keep the general manager? Absolutely. Will the general manager ever be able to hire and fire a head coach? Absolutely. He will have input, no question. I can't work this guy. Or give this guy another chance. We're getting some, these kids are out here responding because he's the coach. Absolutely. he will have and they will have input, no question. Now, his salary currently sits at the top of the market. Most of the higher end personnel people at Power 4 schools typically make around $300,000 to $400,000 in the capacity in which this young man's in. So don't look now, but he's just raised the bar for everybody else. Where the general manager role goes from here will be the most important subplot of the future. It's here. $825,000 over 3 years. And he will have, if you're paying that guy that kind of money or that lady, whoever ends up in that position, you better believe they're going to have say-so. We're paying him. He may come in and say, nobody wants to play with this guy. Talking about the coach he's trying to recruit him for. They keep losing games. I can't go out and recruit for him. Nobody wants to play with this guy. And making $825,000 over 3 years, they're going to sit up and listen to this guy and go, maybe we need to make a coaching change. You think we made a change? You get somebody, get some more players in there? Oh, yeah. You make a change, I can get some guys in there for you. Guarantee it's going to happen. So college football, it's changed just in the last 3 or 4 months. Everything else coming down. This is even newer and bigger, in my opinion, because this person is going to have a lot to say about the direction of the college football programs which he's employed. No question. Here's another crazy thing. I don't know if that's crazy, but it's big. Here's another one. Oklahoma State's putting QR codes on the back of their helmets. Not making this up. Oklahoma State announcing that the Oklahoma State Cowboys will sport QR codes on their helmets, linking it to a donation page for the school's NIL fund. The codes on the back of each helmet will be 1.5 inches. While the codes won't be visible from the stands on game day, fans watching during television broadcast will be able to capture on their phone the QR code. So if you want to make a donation to Tom Taylor, who's out there playing tight end and scoring touchdowns, we're going to send a little money to old Tom. We like Tom. Tom's good. Tom's a good old country boy. He's catching touchdowns for us. We're going to give him some money. It's crazy, but it's here. QR codes in the back of football helmets to be able to support and donate instantly. Man, he just caught the winning touchdown. Let's give him some money. That's what it is. Coach Gundy says a revolutionary step to help keep Oklahoma State ahead of the game. It's nuts, but it's here. That's just 2 things this morning. General managers now in college football. Courtney Morgan making $825,000 over 3 years. They head up the recruiting in Alabama. And obviously he's doing pretty good. They picked up the number 1 running back prospect, Aklin, A-K-Y-L-I-N, Aklin Deer, the number 2 running back in the 2025 class. He said no. In fact, he was committed to Ole Miss and decommitted. 6'2", 205 Deer committed to Alabama over Ole Miss and Mississippi State. He's from Mississippi. So, or is he from, let me see. Deer committed to Alabama with the Rebels and fellow in-state finalist Mississippi State. Not sure where he's from. But he's going to be a Crimson Tide now. Cha-ching. There's Courtney Morgan getting him a recruit. So, Coach, how am I doing so far? Doing pretty good. And I like old Tom Taylor. He's out there catching them passes. He's blocking punts as a defensive guy, as a linebacker. We're going to give him some money. I'm going to take a picture on his QR code and boop, we're going to send the school some money. Earmark it for old Tom Taylor. And I'm going to say, God bless you. Thank you very much. As Elvis would say, oh, thank you very much. Hello, Amy Whitson. How you doing, lady? We're live here again on the road. We are. Greg Salyer, top of the hour. Later on, Ben Fox, head football coach at Maryville University, is going to join us. We had a plethora of coaches this week on the show. It's game week. Hello, Sandra Perkins. How you doing? We are on show number 2133. Kickoffs in 2 days, 8 hours and 59 minutes. Andrew Smith joins us coming up here in just a minute. Sports writer for the Johnson City Press. Now, coming up here Monday at all Chick-fil-A's. By the way, Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth and reopening on September the 2nd. Our first Monday back will be September the 9th in Elizabeth. We've been coming here. Hello to Crystal Van Us. Coach Van Us now. I want to say hello to that young lady. She's got me set up and ready to go tomorrow night with stats and numbers and rosters. She's a jewel. And so we'll be there tomorrow night with Cyclone Volleyball. We'll play the promo here in a second. Riley heard you and told me to tell you hi. Hello, Riley Whitson. What a sweetheart. All right, so Monday, all Chick-fil-A's banana pudding milkshake. Get jacked up for that. I am. Real bananas, vanilla wafer cookie crumbles. Back in the day, a young lady who used to make me banana pudding and put Nutter Butter cookies in the bottom of it. Woo, doggies. That was back in the day. Real bananas with vanilla wafer cookie crumbles. That's coming out on Monday. And also the honey pepper pimento sandwich back by popular demand. Original and spicy. Hello, Inez Burton. Love that lady. She'll come up and smack me in the arm and go, hello, Tom Taylor. Say, hello, Inez. You know what Conway says, don't you, Inez? Or what he said, he's gone. Hello, darling. Anyway, that's what's coming up Monday to all Chick-fil-A's, including here, the banana pudding milkshake, and back, original and spicy, the honey pepper pimentos. How about that? Let's give you the verse today. We'll take a break, get Andrew in here talking Braves baseball. He's all gaga now because they're winning. Come in grinning. They're winning. They haven't made it to the mountaintop yet, but they're climbing. They're making some moves. Got to give them props. We'll run down Major League Baseball with our guy. So let's see what we got here. Here we go. Verse today, Psalms 25, 4 and 5 says, show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Whew. Verse 5, guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Amen. I need the bell. Where's the bell? Hang on. Here it is. Hit that bell. Oh, yeah. Read that one more time. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Run my show, because I've tried to run it for all these years and I bombed it. So I turned it over to him. It's been a whole lot better, to say the least. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are my God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. It's not in Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump. Pick 'em. Sports. Pick it. What do you think drives your bus? They don't drive your bus. At the end of the day, your hope better be in him. He says, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. There you go. So if you think whoever gets the presidential nomination in November is who you put your hope in, you're missing the boat. Should you get out and vote? Absolutely. That's your privilege as an American to get out and vote. I'm not going to tell you who. I know who I'm voting for. It's not even, no question who I'm voting for. But that's immaterial. But the bottom line is you're putting hope in somebody in the White House at any time, not just coming up in 2024. You've missed the boat. We've missed the boat. Put your hope in him all day long. He says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. All right, volleyball promo and Andrew Smith next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It's exciting Elizabethton High School volleyball. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join me Thursday night for the volleyball home opener as the Lady Cyclones host the Chucky Doak Lady Black Knights. Airtime at 6:15, video and audio, first serve around 6:30. Elizabethton High School volleyball versus Chucky Doak Thursday night. It all starts at 6:15 here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Lady Cyclones!
In a world where clutter, trash, and debris threaten your property, one man is ready to save the day. He's Container Man, your dumpster delivery superhero. Need to clear out your garage? Call Container Man. Remodeling your home? Call Container Man. Demolition waste taking over your job site? Call Container Man. From minor to major projects, Container Man has the perfect size dumpster for every task. With lightning fast delivery and the customer service of a locally owned company, he will help you restore order to your world. When you're ready to fight clutter, trash, and debris, call Container Man.
As soon as Mr. Steve walks in, it's like a ray of sunshine has entered our restaurant.
Sure is nice to hear.
For his 100th birthday, we wanted to do it as big as possible.
That was someday, I'll tell you.
Customers came in, brought gifts and cards.
When I walked in and they all clapped, that was quite a surprise to me.
It's a really warm feeling in your heart to know that your father's got other people looking out for him.
We decided to give him free Chick-fil-A for life.
One of my main reasons I want to live forever.
I think you got it in you.
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
And back with the Tom Dooley Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live here. We are at Chick-fil-A. And there he is. Old Smiley, we call him. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Glad to be back.
Amen. Missed last week. Understand that. Sometimes things come up. So he is back, and high school football coming up in 2 days. We'll get your take on some of them, some of the games. Now, the tab comes out tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. Tab comes out tomorrow. Put a lot of work into it. A lot of really good stuff from I'm not going to say I did amazing, but Jeff, our good friend Jeff Birchfield, Dylan Young, a lot of work went into that tab, so very proud of the end product here. Absolutely. And we'll be looking forward to getting it tomorrow. We use it as a good reference tool on our broadcast every year. And so I'm looking forward to getting my copy tomorrow, like I hope you are, at the Johnson City Press. Again, the football tab pull out. It's a preview of all the teams, I guess schedules, pictures of the team, kind of a group shot or team shot, all that, right? Yep. Just about anything you'd want in there.
There you go. Comes out tomorrow. Football's on Friday night. All right, let's hit some games. I know we haven't seen anybody play. This is all just what we think. That's why I bring him on. So Daniel Boone in Irwin, North Carolina. We know nothing about Irwin. Don't know a lot about Boone, but we'll see him later on the season against Elizabethton. But what do you know about the Trailblazers? What do you think about this game?
This game intrigues me a lot. Last year, Boone fell at home to Irwin, but I'm very intrigued. They got a new quarterback, or at least newer quarterback under center, Cole Stevenson. Started a couple games at the end of the year last year. He's a sophomore, very talented, poised young man. A lot of talent. Kind of get a little bit of a baptism by fire situation at the end of last year, but he should go. And Jeremy Jenkins, their head coach, has said a lot about will go as our offensive line meshes. So it seems like it's the key with most every team, but it feels like more so with Boone is how's the offensive line going to hold up. And
we'll see him in week number, let's see, we got, I can do this, Science Hill, Morristown West, Granger, Cherokee. Yeah, 5th week of the season, we'll see Boone neutral site at East Tennessee State University. So they play at Irwin, North Carolina. Happy Valley goes to Cloudland, a little backyard skirmish here between Happy Valley and Cloudland. Who do you like there?
I'm going to lean Cloudland in that ball game. They're at home. I got to see them this past Friday at the West Green Jamboree. Put up a really good fight against a really good South Green team. Lost on a last-second field goal. But it's going to be a tough, hard-nosed Cloudland team. That shouldn't shock anybody. But Happy Valley intrigues me a lot, too. They have a running back by committee situation going on. They appear to be going to be led by Jamie Esterline in that backfield. Should kind of be able to throw some multiple looks at Cloudland. We'll see how they fare. Obviously, riding high after a 7-game winning streak to end last season are the Warriors, but should be a good game up on top of their own.
There's no notes here in the table. This is all out of his head, so it ain't like he's got a crib sheet here to cheat or cheat sheet or notes. It's all product knowledge. So while we have him on, Cherokee will be at Cock County. You've got, let's see, how about South Green in Jonesboro to battle Crockett, the Pioneers? Who do you like there?
I talked about the talented sophomores for Boone. Crockett, very talented sophomore class as a whole. They're led by a sophomore quarterback as well, A.J. Wynn. But we know South Green, they're always a very tough out in 2A as well. That's a sneaky good game this week, in my opinion. We got a lot of hype around a lot of games here in week 1. Obviously, the season's back. But sneaky good game between the Rebels and the Pioneers. I'd probably lean Crockett since they're at home, but it wouldn't shock me at all if I look on Friday night and South Green's up a score or two.
We're 2 days away from football, folks. Tennessee High at Greenville. By the way, here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, it's the Maple Pepper Bacon Sandwich this week. The new one comes out on Monday, the Honey Pepper Pimento, backed by popular demand. You'll have 2 options, original or spicy, come Monday. And the Banana Pudding Milkshake, brand new. It was here had about 8 or 10 years ago, I think, or maybe longer. They brought it back, and so coming up Monday at all Chick-fil-A's will be the Banana Pudding Milkshake. Again, the Elizabethton Chick-fil-A with a redo, complete remodel, scheduled to open on September the 2nd. Our first show will be there on Monday the 9th, so we're looking forward to being back over there, although we've been treated as always here. We come here on Wednesdays anyway, so 2 days a week we're doing Chick-fil-A, and we're doing Chick-fil-A 2 days a week, and we do it here on Wednesdays and over there on Mondays. Hello, Coretta Clowney. How you doing, lady? Inez Burton, thank you all for watching the show. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. All right, Tennessee High Greenville. How you like that one opening up down in the land of the Green Devils Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tall task for the Vikings going into Greenville on Friday. Obviously, historically, Greenville and Elizabethton, the 2 classes of 4A. We'll expect it to be similar again. Early in the season, when we don't know a heck of a lot about these teams, I personally tend to lean, as you can tell by our conversation, who's at home. That comfortability of being able to play on the field you've been practicing on all summer long, it definitely helps. So, you know, I'll lean the Green Devils there against the Vikings.
Morristown West, Morristown East, the bragging rights of Morristown. They play the biggest game of the year for those 2 teams the first week out. Again, they play in that neutral, well, they both use the same stadium, so it's Burke Toney Stadium, and so Morristown West, Morristown East. Who do you like there Friday night?
To be honest, I've not gotten to look a ton at either of Mo West or Mo East, but I'll just throw out a guess and say Mo West.
We see them next Friday night. We'll have them at Citizens Bank Stadium. Week 2, we'll take on Morristown West. We beat them last year. Cyclones, by the way, went 9-2 last year, and that was one of the big wins down there. In fact, the game was stopped late in the game because of lightning and rain, and the Cyclones were winning, and we had a rain delay of sorts, and they finally just called the game. So I guess you could say unfinished business, but probably not. It's just the way it happened. God was in control, and he brought down the rain, the lightning, the thunder, and we went on. Hampton, the Bulldogs at Pigeon Forge Friday night. Who do you like there?
Well, last season that was a game. When I talked to Michael Lunsford, he said that's a game we probably should have had. Just turnovers, penalties. Now they make the trip down to Pigeon Forge this year, and Hampton's another team I got to see in that West Green Jamboree on Friday, and they're going to be tough. They're going to run the football. Dominic Burleson's back in that running back position. And I think Hampton gets their revenge this year. I think they'll go down to Pigeon Forge and take care of the Tigers.
A couple of more games. Johnson County at Sullivan East on Friday night. You like the Longhorns on the road or Sullivan East at home?
Well, that'll be a game I'll be at on Friday night. Should be a game of contrasting styles. Johnson County looking to run a triple option type offense. Think Jamie Chadwell at Liberty. Very similar style to that. Meanwhile, air raid, Sullivan East. I'll lean Johnson County. I didn't get to see much of the Sullivan East offense when they played Hampton on Friday, but Hampton just kind of controlled the time of possession in the one quarter they played, and the one possession Sullivan East had, pass protection, a little bit of a question mark. Possession that ended up in a turnover as well. But another week to kind of hone things in. Being back at home definitely should help the Patriots.
Hello, Philip Tipton. Hello, Lisa May. Hello to Carolyn Birchfield. Hello to Michael Stafford. Would you do me a favor? See where the 2 guys are standing?
Yes, sir.
If you'll go right behind them and pull that blind down about a foot, please.
Yes, sir.
Because there's a glare bouncing off that windshield over there, man. It's about to blind me. So that's all I need. So we're here live again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. We're talking, of course, to Andrew Smith. You see on the screen. Again, that would be the perfect. Good job, sir. Hello, Cody Taylor. How you doing, Michael Stafford? Okay. The old Manfred Mann Earth Band song, Blinded by the Light, well, I was. So, Mr. Smith took care of me. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. No problem.
I can see now. Hello, Gar Sheffield. How you doing, sir? Chucky Doak at Unaka Friday night. Up Stony Creek, the Rangers and Chucky Doak. Who do you like there?
I'm going to lean the Black Knights. It's a very young Unaka team. Again, they are led by a senior quarterback in Brennan Repass, but overall, I like the depth. I like the more experience of the Black Knights heading up to Stony Creek there. But, I wouldn't count out the Rangers in that one, especially at home. But I'll go road team there and go Chucky Doak.
Two more. Northview Academy will open things up in Unicoi County. The Blue Devils at home. You like Unicoi County or Northview on the road Friday night?
I'll go with the Blue Devils of Unicoi County. Colby Jones back at quarterback for them. They are going to be a very tough out in 3A. I like their depth. I like, obviously, the returning experience behind center. I'll lean Blue Devils at home.
Top of the hour, we'll talk baseball with our buddy Mr. Baseball, Greg Salyer. He's been gone. He was gone last week on vacation, so he's chomping to talk baseball. We're going to let this man talk about the Braves in a second. Volunteer at Westridge, volunteer with the new coach. Jesse McMillan left to go back to join the Dobbins Minute coaching staff, so they bring in Mike Castle. They'll open up at Westridge against the Wolves. You got Westridge or volunteer Friday night at Westridge? Who do you like?
I'll go with Westridge here. They bring back Trey Frazier, and a big key for the Wolves will be, can they keep Trey Frazier upright? They started the year 4-1, then Trey gets hurt 5 games into the season. They finished the year 1-4. So with Trey back, if he's able to stay healthy, Westridge should be a sneaky tough opponent for everybody up in 6A. And volunteer, obviously it might take a little bit of time to adjust with the interim coach there.
Let's get his take on this game on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Eddie Pless and yours truly Friday night for the 2024 season opener against the longtime rival Scienceville Hilltoppers at home at Citizens Bank Stadium. In fact, it's the 100th meeting between the two. Airtime at 7 o'clock, kickoff 7:30, video and audio with the Cyclone Network. Cyclone football this Friday night at home against Science Hill. It all starts at 7 o'clock here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Cyclones! So there you go, the 100th meeting coming up on Friday night, airtime right before 7 o'clock. Eddie Pless, you're truly going to bring it to you as you heard. 100th meeting, which I think is really cool to be a part of a game for me personally that would, well, you're talking Alabama, Auburn, Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan, go right down the list of all the big teams, the big rivals. And here's 2 schools on the high school level playing there for the 100th time. For me personally, it's an honor to be a part of it. So Friday night, Citizens Bank Stadium, Cyclones and Hilltoppers. What do you think and who do you like?
Well, first off, before we go, I want to give a promo to Jamie Combs. He did a great piece for us last night talking about the 100th meetings of Science Hill and Elizabethton. Very good read if you get a chance to check that out. I'd highly encourage it. But what will happen on Friday? It's a question on everybody's mind. Obviously, recent history favors the Cyclones. 5 of the last 6 have went the way of the orange and the black. Got Rhett Slagle coming back at quarterback. Very talented young man, both on the football field and the baseball diamond. Yep. Is Mr. Slagle. But I think defense was a big key for Elizabethton in last year's game, especially getting a pick 6. Their 14-0 Elizabethton League sent it out to a 3-score game last year. Elizabethton definitely looking to get some big plays out of the defense again. Meanwhile, Science Hill, they're going to be tough. It's always a competitive game. Our good friend Jeff Birchfield got to catch up with Coach Carter there earlier this week, and something Jeff talked about in his interview with Coach Carter was, these games are always competitive. They're always tough. Really like what Science Hill brings to the table. I'll lean Elizabethton, especially since it is at Citizens Bank Stadium. But as we were talking about during that break, we're just flapping our jaws. It doesn't really matter what we say.
No. People ask me all week long who's going to win a game. I don't know. I'm going to show up and call the game. I just follow the ball. Hello, Dennis Bond, Nancy Pruitt. Guys, I think I'm going to talk a lot about in the game. Rhett Slagle, Justice Wallen, the J Train, Jeriah Griffin. I think a guy's going to play a big part in this football game is Will Bowers, the place kicker for Elizabeth. The guy consistently is kicking, we saw it the other day, 40, 45-yard field goals. The guy's got a foot. He's only a sophomore. On the other side, Famoyan, Spencer Taylor, Corbin Lazier, guy that transferred from East, big tight end. I don't know a lot more about their personnel. We'll get the package today, but it's, plus, here's the thing. You got 16, 17-year-old kids playing on the big stage, opening night. They've been waiting all year since last November to play. They're chomping the bit. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Somebody's going to do something wrong. Kicking game's going to come in big. Muff punt, fumbled punt, something, kickoff return. Something's going to be big in the kicking game because you're dealing with 16, 17-year-old kids. It's the talk of the town. You got the talking going on between both the teams and the communities, and we get all that. So it's all that together. 16, 17-year-old kid more than likely is going to make a mistake. Won't intend to do it, but it's been my experience over the years they do it. I'm not a kid. I make mistakes. He's not a kid. He makes mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. It's just the nature of the beast and just the pressure of the game, the fact that it's the opening night and it's the rivalry built in. You're playing for the trophy. You got the 100th meeting. Weather's going to be great. Got a full house, the whole gig. What do you think? I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere. Obviously, I'm pulling for Elizabeth until I work with and until I call. But it could go either way. And as Sean said, this doesn't make our season. It's a good way to start the season, but it has nothing to do with playoffs because we don't play in the same league, even on the same classification. But it's going to be a big game, and better believe both teams want to walk out there with a W. So it's best I can tell you, but that's should be a good one. I would obviously give the home field advantage, and I say that knowing the last 2 years the road team won the game. Cyclones have won 4 in a row, 5 out of the last 6, so we'll see. But it'll be a dandy, and we're going to bring it to you right before 7 o'clock. We've got the 4 cameras set up and ready to go, the Cyclone Network, so we're jacked up. I am ready to roll for Friday night, so we'll see. It starts at 7, and you know what? Here's the thing. Win, lose, or draw, you won't draw. Win or lose Saturday morning, you wake up, he's still on the throne. Life goes on. Trust me, life goes on. It is a football game, purely. I'd be more concerned. I know it's football and it's sports, and I get it, but I'm a little more interested to see what the Russians and the Chinese are doing with their fighter planes flying over Alaska. That's got my attention a little bit. It should get all of our attentions a little bit. So, anyway, it is what it is. All right, Braves baseball, switching gears. The Atlanta Braves are red hot. They won 3 in a row, 7 out of 10. They've closed at the 6th. Phillies have lost 2 in a row, 6 out of 10. Game 2 tonight. Lopez last night struck out 10. Braves win. Ozuna goes deep. Today it's Aaron Nola and Max Fried. What do you think about the Braves, your ball team? They coming back?
I don't know. It seems like the injury bug will not leave the ball club alone. They're on Sunday. Austin Riley breaks his hand on a hit-by-pitch. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. So they signed Gio Urshela to fill that third base hole. And he looked okay last night. Nothing world-beating, but you're not asking him to go be a world beater. Just, kind of settle in, and he seems to be doing that already. And obviously pitching is kind of what has carried this Braves ball club. And Reynaldo Lopez, first game back off the IL in a couple weeks, and he looked fantastic. He got in a little bit of trouble a time or two, but was able around to strike out. Good. I think his fastball velocity was up as high as it's been all year long. So he looked very good. I'm not trying to count chickens before they hatch. Still a long way to go. It's a tight race for that third wild card as well. So it's not just looking up at the Phillies. It's trying to make sure the Mets stay behind. So, yeah, it should be another great pitching matchup tonight. You mentioned Nola versus Fried. Should be a fun one.
Braves-Phillies game 2 tonight in Atlanta, and it'll be a good one to say the least. Now, there's been a shift to the top. Your top 5 baseball teams, it was Cleveland, not Cleveland anymore. The best team in baseball right now is the LA Dodgers. Winning percentage at .591. Then you have 3 teams tied, Milwaukee, the Phillies, and Cleveland for the next best team in baseball. And then you have the Baltimore Orioles, who lost Zach Eflin last night, which is huge, to say the least, going down the stretch for them. And so they're a half game better than the Yankees in the East. In the Central, Cleveland 3.5 better than Minnesota and Kansas City. In the West, Houston has won 8 out of 10, still a hot team. They got a 5-game lead over the Mariners in the West. So pretty good baseball right now in the American League, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely. You got a really tight race there in the AL East, obviously between Baltimore and New York. All 3 races are within 5 games. That's a great sign for some great September baseball here in a couple weeks. And, yeah, I mean, it's should be a lot of fun if you're a fan of an American League team, White Sox notwithstanding.
Absolutely. White Sox, nah. Then you have in the National League, Phillies, we said, leading the Braves by 6. In the Central, Milwaukee 11.5, they're running away with it, the Cubs in the Central. And the Dodgers have won 3 in a row and 7 out of 10. They lead the Diamondbacks now, and the Padres by 3, and the Diamondbacks by 4. The wild card today would be the Yankees, the Twins, the Royals in the American League, San Diego, Arizona, and the Braves in the National League. Of course, we keep going back to the wild card. There's a lot of baseball left. Particularly in September, they play inside the division a lot, so it can really, the Braves are proving it. They're making some strides now, so it can really go either way. The wild card, I keep saying until about the middle of 1st of September is when you really want to start talking, but everybody's talking wild card now. But to me, it's premature because these interdivisional games can change the outcome of the races right now.
Oh, they absolutely can. Now, one tidbit is, though, that this season Major League Baseball did introduce a more, I think they called it balanced schedule. I don't know what terminology was they used for it, but you're not playing your divisional foes as often. You're playing more interleague games, playing more interdivision games. So not quite as easy to make up ground as it was before, but it's still possible. There's still a solid 5-ish weeks of regular season baseball left, so it's not impossible to see nearly any comeback happen, especially in the National League.
You got it. Appreciate you coming by, sir. So who you covering Friday night?
I will be in Bluff City for Johnson County and Sullivan East.
There you go. The East Patriots and the Longhorns. That'd be a good one.
Should be.
Thanks for coming by, sir. See you next week.
Sounds like a plan.
Quick break. We'll be right back. He's here. Mr. Baseball's in the house. The guru. Sounds good. His mother thinks so. We think so, too. We'll be right back after this on the Tom Daly Sports Show. The Tom Daly Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. T&S Home Improvements you see on the screen. What's it all about, sir?
Well, we build decks. We do underpinning for mobile homes, vinyl underpinning, CertainTeed underpinning, K-Rock, whatever you want. Build decks, porches, whatever you want done.
How long you guys been in business?
A little over 4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Geographically, where do you go? Where have you gone?
We try to stay within about 75 miles of the region. We've been all the way over to Virginia, up in North Carolina. Next week, we've actually got to go down to Pigeon Forge.
Awesome. So they're everywhere. T&S Home Improvements. So things you guys have been working on, I don't know, last 45, 50 days. What have y'all been doing?
Well, last week we built 2 covered porches, 10 by 20 covered porches. We've done about 600 pinning jobs in the past 2 weeks, and about 10 small decks in the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome. So if you need that kind of work done, all they want to do is ask you to let them give you a quote and go from there. Phone number, how do we find you?
Phone number is 423-946-8432.
You're on social media?
On Facebook. T&S Home Improvements on Facebook.
There you go. T&S Home Improvements on Facebook. And they'll go, as you heard with the sound of our voice, probably 50, 60, 75 miles any radius of where we're sitting here in the Tri-Cities. And so there's a lot of them out there, home improvement companies. What do you feel like separates you from everybody else?
Well, for one, I feel like we're good on pricing. And everything we do for you, we do it like we're doing it for ourselves. So our greatest concern is customer satisfaction.
There you go, folks. One more time, the phone number is?
423-946-8432.
One of our great sponsors of the Tom Daly Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. I believe in these guys. Travis Constable at T&S Home Improvements. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Daly Sports Show.
At At Carter County Bank, it's our job to help you focus on the happy moments and check off the things on your to-do list to make them happen. We're here along the way so you can pull off the happiest moments in life. Carter County Bank, in the business of happiness.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello, Carl Wilson. How you doing, sir? Thanks for watching the show. 2 nights from tonight, it all gets started. Can't wait. Eddie Plesser is truly going to bring it to you. We'll roll till May. Football, basketball, volleyball, wrestling, softball. What am I leaving out? Feetball, volleyball, wrestling, maybe a swim meet somewhere along the line.
Did you say feetball?
Feetball, yeah. That's what we call it back on feetball.
Okay.
Not football. We do feetball. See, I did that because he's on his phone. I thought, I'll get his attention.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
So. Now, we're going to get his attention Monday because it's banana pudding milkshake coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Real bananas, vanilla wafer cookie crumbles, Monday at all Chick-fil-A's. We're back at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on September the 9th. See, we got one more here. Then Labor Day we're off, and then the 9th we'll roll in and be ready to go. Picking back up. I mean, that's the schedule. Could be, at this point, unless there's a construction delay, that's where we'll be.
Okay.
Also, coming up next Monday at all Chick-fil-A's, a honey pepper pimento sandwich, both original and spicy. Yeah. So, real bananas, the banana pudding milkshake, and the honey pepper pimento sandwich back. Did you have that before?
I did.
Good?
Yeah, it's really good. The pickles are what make it.
What makes it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're a bread and butter pickle, but they've got heat to them.
Got a little smoke on them?
Yeah, yeah. So they've got the sweetness of a bread and butter pickle, but the fire of some kind of I don't know if they've been mixed with jalapenos at some point or what, but they got a little fire. They got kick.
There you go.
I was talking to Tim Birchfield, not last week, of course, because I wasn't here, but the week before, and he said if you eat them by themselves, he said they have a real kick.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Spicy pickles by themselves. Yeah, you're looking for tea or something. Put the fire out.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Or maybe a milkshake. To
Yeah,
put the fire
maybe
out.
so. That's right.
Yep.
That'll do it better than anything, probably.
Yep. So it's coming next Monday, or this coming Monday.
And banana pudding's one of my favorite things anyway.
Oh,
So you
yes.
make it into a milkshake. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Carl Wilson. Listen to the Jeremy Wallen song about E-Town's football. Yeah, we're going to have that. Put that on here. We got a copy of it. We're involved in that one. They use some of our audio in and around a song. It's a really good song about Elizabethton football. So we're in the process of getting that, Carl, and it's good. You're right. Guy did a great job. So anyway, we are live here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on show number 3133. Is that right? Can't remember what it is.
Wow, 3133.
Does that sound right? Let's see what we got here. Is your mother watching, by the way?
Yeah, she's supposed to be watching today, so.
2133.
2130. I started to say 31.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got jumped.
Okay.
Jumped 1,000.
Okay. I thought that sounded like an awful.
It
I
was.
just thought maybe I'd missed something.
Yeah, 1,000 shows.
Yeah, I did a Rip Van Winkle or something.
Rip Van Salyard. So.
Yeah.
Hello, Ev. Tom, you're so goofy. I know Em. His mother. She's awesome. All right, where do we start? Let's start with the Orioles losing Zach Eflin. That's a big loss.
So this morning I was listening to a podcast, and they were just naming off a pitching rotation. And they named this, and it sounded like a great pitching rotation. They said, yeah, that's the Orioles guys that are on the injured list currently. And I was like, whoa, I did not realize all those guys were on it. That could be devastating, you know. I mean, it was everybody basically, and except Corbin Burns, you know. And that was a tough list that I listened to. Of course, Zach Eflin was the last name they mentioned, since he was the last one to go on it. But yeah, so they're in a fight with the Yankees for that American League East division, and to have all their pitchers go down like they have at once, that's tough. It's going to be hard on them the rest of the season.
Orioles have lost. They're 5-5. They're kind of flattened over the last 10 games. They're a half game better than the Yankees. Yankees have lost 3 in a row. and they're 5-5, and the Red Sox are 5-5, but they're 7 out. So the Orioles got to do without Eflin, which is huge, as you said.
It was who they picked up at the trade deadline.
To
take care of the spot for some of these other guys
Yep.
that have been hurt.
Orioles will have to do it without Eflin. The Braves will have to do it without Austin Riley. Another injury by the Braves.
Yeah, devastating.
But you look at, they've won 3 in a row and 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
And they're giving chase to the Phillies, who've lost 2 in a row, and they've lost 6 out of 10. So the Braves they're not out of the woods yet. They still got a chance.
Yeah, they do, and they go out and beat the Phillies. I mean, after finding out you're going to be losing Austin Riley, you go out and pick up a win over the team that's ahead of you in the division. Yeah, that's a good move to make. So good thing to do, and they were able to go out and do that. Zach Wheeler, I believe, was the pitcher last night too.
He was.
So yeah, that was big that they were able to go out as depleted as their lineup is. Ozzie Albies and
Cunha.
then Cunha as well. It's been
Strider.
It has been tough for the Braves this year when it comes to injuries. I mean, just really, really bad. Strider, Acuna out for the season, and now Riley being out for the rest of the regular season at least, and may not even be available for the playoffs. It's hard. It's really hard.
Hello, Lisa Lunsford. How you doing? Thanks for watching the show. Also want to say hello to Chris Stevens. Hello to Donna Roberts. Hello to Carl Wilson. Calls me Uncle Tom. William Clark. Coach Shipley out of Middle Tennessee. Hello, sir. Harold Russell in Texas watching. Bill Birchfield. Jimmy Stout down in Georgia. Rick Ranson in Pensacola. Hello to Dennis Vaughn. Hello to Nancy Pruitt. Hello to Eric Bowers. Gar Sheffield. Cody Taylor. And Michael Stafford. Some of the folks watching the show. Thank you very much. Got them all over the place, and we'll have them all over the place Friday night. We are blessed and honored. We've averaged last year. Went back and checked it. Got to research this. I'm not just throwing this out there. We average on a Friday night football broadcast usually 17, 18 states. So anywhere from, for sure, a dozen. That's a given. And sometimes it'll jump up to 17, 18. And we even had some Elizabethan alumni in the service watching in Japan and also in Germany at a different time zone, obviously, to listen to the Cyclones. So we appreciate that very much. Hello, Jim Forgy. How you doing, sir? So you look at the American League East. All right, the Central, the Guardians have won 6 out of 10. 6 out of the last 10. 3.5 back are Minnesota, who's lost 3 in a row. And the Royals they've won 6 out of 10. They're 3.5 back. They went in and just blistered the Reds last weekend.
Oh my goodness!
How embarrassing!
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, I watched the game Lodolo pitched.
Yeah.
I said, turn that garbage off.
I watched all 3 of those games. It was miserable if you're a Reds fan. But my secretary is a Royals fan.
Oh yeah.
So she sent me a text Sunday night and said, are you going to be speaking to me tomorrow after what my team did? And I didn't respond to her text.
Yeah.
I just didn't respond to it. So I went in Monday, and this is what I said to her, because she's a NASCAR person. She doesn't keep up with baseball like I do. So she has been saying all year, oh, the Royals are bad, they're bad. And I've been telling her they're not. So this is what I said to her Monday morning. I said, I do not want to hear again for the rest of this season that the Royals are bad after what they just did to the Reds this weekend. Outscored them 28-3.
Oh.
Yeah, that's and they were just good. I mean, they were like a buzzsaw. I mean, it was crazy how good that team was.
I turned it off. Very seldom I sit down and watch a baseball game anyway. I turned it off and went to a documentary on Elvis. So there you go.
Wow.
I said I can't watch it. It was awful. They were terrible.
Maybe I should have done that.
Yeah, you probably should have. All right, Psalms 25, 4 and 5. We'll always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. And here we go. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. You better let him control the show, because if you don't, you just need to let him control the show. Trust me, you will be much better off if you let him run your show. I can tell you that from experience. Verse 5, guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long.
Amen.
Amen. If you think it's in Kamala Harris, no. Joe Biden, no. Donald Trump? No. Pick anybody. Sports? No. Pick anything other than the Lord Jesus to put your hope in. You're wrong. You're wasting your time.
Yep.
It's
That
just
is
that
correct.
simple. Absolutely. So just put your hope in him. You cannot and will not go wrong. He says in Hebrews, I will never leave you nor forsake you, which means country term, turn your back on you. He's not going to do it. So he wants you to let him run the show. Why would you not? He knows every hair on your head. He knows what's going on. He knew I'd be talking about this right now before we were born. Psalms 139:16. So there you go. All right, we jump into the American League West. Astros won 8 out of 10. They're smoking hot. Mariners have lost 2 in a row. They've lost 7 out of 10, and the Rangers are put a fork in them. They're done, looks like.
Yeah.
They're 11 back. They've lost 7 out of 10. Astros, what's been the difference? What's been the turnaround for Houston?
Yeah, so the thing about the Astros that I've noticed, they've been playing teams at the right time too. They've been strong. They really have. Bregman is making a run. You know, he's playing a little better. And, of course, Altuve's always Altuve. Maybe they'll get Kyle Tucker back. I don't know if he's supposed to be back anytime soon or not, but hopefully he can be back. But, of course, Yordan Alvarez has been just knocking the cover off the ball as well. And their pitching is good. So, you know, they're finally playing like we thought they would be at the beginning of the season, and they just didn't show up for the first part of the season. Now they're the Astros that everybody thought they were going to be, and they're running away with the division. Now, Texas, they have an interesting situation because this week their Double-A team probably will have the best pitching rotation in Double-A history, as both Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom are both making rehab starts for the Frisco Rough Riders this week after their number one pitching prospect pitches the game before that. So that's a pretty good rotation. Yeah.
Wow. So Max Scherzer, Jacob deGrom, the number one pitching prospect, back to back to back.
Yeah.
Wow. In Double-A.
In Double-A.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is impressive. So, anyway, hello, Carrie Reed. How you doing, lady?
How'd you like to be that team that's having to face them?
Yeah.
If that's, I don't know if it's a series that they're going to be facing the same team the whole time, but if it is, that would just be devastating.
See, I'm crazy enough. I want to do that. So,
I'd want to hit against them too.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Put me in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, put me in there.
I want to take a swing because if I hit him, it's going to score brownies for me, and my whole goal is getting bumped up. So, hell, Taylor took Scherzer deep. Let's promote this guy. Absolutely. So anyway, that's interesting. That's why we bring him in, folks. I should have put on there Mr. Baseball. Forgot to do that. So we'll talk about where he was last week. It's a beautiful place called The Cove in Asheville, North Carolina, the Billy Graham Evangelistic Training Center. It is it's a gated place. You don't get in unless you know. Anyway, it is beautiful, unbelievably awesome.
It is.
Did you get a chance to go upstairs and get a tour of the place?
Well, I have done all that before, yeah. So I've been pretty much all over the place, but it dawned on me, I've been going to the Cove since 1990, and I didn't realize that. And I mean, right after it opened, basically, and so I haven't. I mean, you know, I went several years without going, but now I'm trying to go about once a year or so, and they're doing these things called pastor renewal retreats, and that's what I was on. And I got there. One of my favorite guys, Tom Rayner, was the speaker, and he walked us through Jude. And you know, Jude's a small book, but first session he only covered the first 2 verses. We were thinking, wow, is he even going to get us through this one chapter book? But he did, and it was fantastic. Marty Getz was the worship leader, and it was a fantastic couple of days.
One of the coolest things ever. I got it on my wall at home. Wouldn't give you $1 million for it. Back in the day when I got a tour, Dr. Graham's office is closed off to the public. Guy says, you want to go in and get in Dr. Graham's office? I said, like Billy Graham's office where he sat and wrote his sermons? Yeah. You want to go in there? I said, let me think. Does a cow give milk? Yes, I'd like to go in there. So he said, you want your picture? I said, I would love to have a picture. You want to sit at his desk? I said, no way. Not worthy of sitting at Billy Graham's desk. No. But I stood behind it, got a picture in his office, which was really cool. But they said, you want to sit? No, I don't want to sit at his desk. I'm not worthy to sit at Billy Graham's desk. Guy spoke to more people in the human race, I think, than anybody else ever.
Yeah.
That's what I read. But gosh, getting goosebumps talking about what an honor. What a thrill for me to just be in the office and he was still alive at the time. He was very sick, but he was shut. I don't know if it still is or not. It was shut off to the public. So anyway, I got to do that, and it was an honor. And a thank you, Darius, for letting me do that. So anyway, he was at the Cove.
Yeah.
He was gone. He's back. His mother's happy he's back. He's happy he's back. I'm happy he's back, and I hope you guys are happy he's back. In the National League East, the Philadelphia Phillies, we're talking about the Braves. Now, the Mets have lost 6 out of 10, so they're kind of spiraling backwards and downward. In the Central, the Brewers are running away with it. They've won 6 in a row, 7 out of 10. They've opened up an 11.5 game lead over the Cubs. The Reds have lost 2 in a row, 8 out of 10. The Pirates have lost 7 out of 10. So, you look at this, and to me, it's like, okay, how much longer are you going to deal with David Bell? I mean, I don't know if he's the reason, but the Reds win 2, they look all world, or win 2 or 3, and they lose 5 or 6. I mean, it's like,
so when they swept the Cardinals, everybody's on a high, and then the Royals come to town and just absolutely destroyed them. And then they go to Toronto and, win the first game pretty handily, get handed a horrible loss last night. I mean, just a beat down last night that they received at the hands of the Blue Jays. And then, so they got the rubber game of that series today, and, maybe they can pull out a win of the series. But then they're going to Pittsburgh for 4 games.
Yeah.
And, you should beat Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh started off the season gangbusters. Even had a 10-game winning streak just a couple weeks ago, but now it seems like they've forgotten how to win.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to go in there and do something. So Nick Krall seems to think that David Bell's doing a good job. I don't know. He came out and made that statement this week. I don't know. The fans are not happy, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I think we'll see at the end of the season something. I mean, I don't know that. I don't think they'll get rid of him, but I know a lot of the fans wouldn't be crying if they did.
There's a buzz in St. Louis. They've lost 2 in a row, 8 out of 10. He may be in trouble, the manager. The Pirates have lost 7 out of 10. Now there's talk he may be in trouble. By the way, hello to Karen Schneider. Saw you yesterday at Port Travis Deli, you and Sig. How you doing? Hello to Jessica Whitfield. Hello to Kristen Grant. I haven't seen you and heard from you in a long time. How you doing? Kristen Grant, Carrie Reed, Karen Schneider. So Cardinals and Pirates maybe looking for a new manager?
Possibly. I like Derek Shelton. I think he's done a good job with what he's been given in Pittsburgh over the years, and I think this year though they've expected a little more out of him, and especially with the emergence of Paul Skeens, and it just maybe hasn't happened like they thought it would, and the last couple of weeks have just been tough for them. So it's possible, and I mean, I saw the Cardinals play in Cincinnati on Memorial Day, and there were Cardinals fans walking around at Great American Ballpark holding up signs asking for Ollie Marmol to be fired.
What does that accomplish? You go to Cincinnati and put up a sign. What's it accomplish anyway?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they thought they'd get on TV and somebody'd see it, but it doesn't do anything. I mean,
well, you're talking about in East Tennessee a week later or 2 weeks later, but beyond that, it's like they're going to do what they're going to do, but the Cardinals are struggling for sure.
Yeah.
In the West, the Dodgers aren't struggling. They've won 3 in a row and 7 out of 10. They lead the Padres, who've won 2 in a row and 7 out of 10. It's probably the best division in baseball right now as far as wins. Arizona's won 2 in a row and 7 out of 10. Padres are 3 back, the Diamondbacks are 4 back, and the Dodgers keep on being the Dodgers. So it's a great division, and all 3 of those teams could potentially be in the playoffs.
They could, and look at San Francisco. They're only 3.5 back in the wild card, so they have a puncher's chance. I mean, I can't imagine all 3 wild cards being from one division. You just can't imagine that happening. But it's possible. I mean, it is absolutely possible this year that could happen if the Giants go on a big winning streak and the Braves and a couple other teams like the Mets go on a major losing streak. So it's possible that it could happen. Arizona has really cranked it up a notch, though. They were playing right around 500 ball, and they've really turned it up. I mean, Eugenio Suarez has just been knocking the cover off the ball for them. And it's good to see that, because he'd kind of struggled a little bit earlier in the year, and now all of a sudden he's becoming a force to deal with. So, I think 3 teams out of that division, I think it's going to be the Dodgers, San Diego, and Arizona are all going to be in the playoffs.
The wild card, if you stop today, by the way, Ben Fox joins us coming up here in about 7 or 8 minutes, head coach of Maryville University, the Fighting Scots. The wild card, if you stop today, the Yankees, the Twins, and the Royals in the American League, and the Padres in Arizona and Atlanta in the National League. So, again, the Braves have Max Fried tonight against Aaron Nolan, mound game 2 against the Phillies. So that's where you are right now as far as the wild card. Hello, Hunter Owens. Hello to James Pearson. Thank you all for watching the show. We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. The banana pudding milkshake comes out Monday at all Chick-fil-A's.
Awesome.
Real bananas, vanilla wafer cookies crumbled up in the milkshake. I'm already jacked up about it. And then they're bringing back 2 of the more popular sandwiches in the past, the honey pepper pimento, original and in spicy. So you get a choice getting either way, original or spicy, honey pepper pimento. Both of those come back, all 3 of those come back on Monday. So there you go. And again, we'll be back on September the 9th back into Elizabethton. If you don't know, and if you live out of town, you wouldn't know, but Elizabethton's Chick-fil-A has been closed for a total remodel. And so it's been closed for 2, almost 3 months now. And so they're opening back up September the 2nd. Again, if everything goes well with construction, which is what I was told, that's the timeline. And that would put us in there on the 9th, which is the first Monday after Labor Day in September. So we'll stay here on Wednesdays and go back over there on Mondays. So we do a double whammy of Chick-fil-A every week. So I'm excited. And then, of course, you're not that far away. I say that, and you're not. From the peppermint chip milkshake for the holidays.
I love that thing too.
Oh yes, so
that's really good.
You don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you. Then we'll get into one more topic of discussion. Come on now, phone, crank up. How many days till Christmas Eve?
Oh wow.
You don't want to know. But
it's a little over 100. I know that.
Oh yeah, it is. I want to say 124. Nope, 125.
Okay.
125 days from today till Christmas Eve. It's unbelievable. So anyway, you look and you get ready for the stretch run. So we talked about the Braves. We talked about Austin Riley. And let's see. Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Ozuna. These guys are beating the cover off the ball. So what do you think right now with you got Aaron Judge, 45 home runs, Ohtani, 39 home runs. You've got Ozuna with 37, so they're beating the socks off of it, aren't they?
They are. And Ozuna, if you look at him, he's got a chance to win Triple Crown. I mean, it could happen. You would think Ohtani might have a chance to do that as well, but not quite. It looks like it could be more Ozuna that has the opportunity to do that. These guys are really knocking the cover off the ball. If you start talking about MVP, though, you got to throw Bobby Witt Jr. in that conversation as well. I mean, watching him play against Cincinnati, this kid is absolutely the real deal. I mean, he is unbelievably good.
Yep.
And I think in the American League, if you're going to talk about the MVP, it comes down to Judge and Witt. It really does. It comes down to those 2 guys.
You've got Ozuna, maybe the first Braves player with consecutive 40 home run seasons since Andrew Jones in 2005, 2006, which is a pretty impressive stat.
Yeah, that's quite a thing if you think about it, that nobody has done that since then. Acuna's not done it. Acuna's been hurt. I mean, he had that 140 home run season. He's been hurt around it, so he didn't have the opportunity. But, Ozuna, I, to be honest, I've never been a huge fan of his, but I'll tell you what, he is knocking the cover off the ball this year. I've been impressed with him all season, and he has just not slowed down. He's not had a break where he's been bad the whole season. So he's got a good chance. I think he's got a good chance to be MVP.
Hello, Julie Eastep. How you doing, lady? Joanne Smith. How you kids doing? I also want to say hello to Ginger Helms. Hello to Hunter Owens. We said hello to you. Thank you all for watching the show. Okay, Mr. Baseball, going to put him on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. August 21st, 2024. World Series right now. Who's in it? Make that prediction.
Oh, my.
Thanks, pal.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the American League, if you asked me who was going to be in the World Series right now,
Put him on the spot.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna surprise you to death.
You're going to say Cleveland.
I'm gonna say Cleveland. You're
I knew
exactly
that.
right.
I knew that.
Yeah, I think they've got a well-rounded team. They've got the superstar in Ramirez. They've got the pitching to do it. They've got the bullpen. I think they could. I think for a short series, I think they would be a tough team to play. So I would say Cleveland.
Got him on the run, right? No.
In the National League.
In the National League. Let's see if I get this one right, too. I'm 1 for 1. Boom, 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 boom. Do, do, do. Now what you do, at the ball games, they play the do, do, do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got him flustered.
Yeah. So this
good.
is so hard because there's so many teams that are playing so well, and I'm trying to think who I think would do well in a short series and be because that matters. I mean, that's huge. I don't think the Dodgers because I don't think their pitching would be able to handle a short series.
I'm right so far. I didn't think you were going to say the Dodgers. So you got the Cleveland Guardians. Who's the other team?
Okay. I want to say a wild card team, but I think I'm going to go a different route, and I'm going to say the Philadelphia Phillies.
There you go.
Now, I'm watching neither one of those teams do it, but you asked me what I think. I think in a short series, those two teams are pretty dangerous.
I thought you would pick the Phillies or the Brewers, so there you go. I was halfway right.
Yeah.
Dodgers don't have the arms to go, as you said, and Cleveland stays under the radar. They just play rock-solid baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, they are 73-52.
Mm-hmm.
The best team in baseball now, winning percentage now, are the Dodgers. The 3 teams are tied for second, the Phillies, Cleveland, and Milwaukee. Then comes Baltimore. So the Yankees have dropped out for the time being.
Yeah.
So you've got the Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians in the World Series at this point.
At this point.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Are you hungry?
Yes, sir, I am.
Wear it out. Get you a peach milkshake or something. Make me proud of you.
I deserve it after that.
Absolutely. I put him on the spot. It's good stuff.
So,
quick break. We'll be right back after this from Lingerfeld Drug Center. We've got Jeff Birchwood. We've got Ben Fox from Maryville University. All that straight ahead on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Very simple. It happens every day. Tell us how we can do it.
Yeah, all you got to do is give us a call. We brought 2 yesterday, actually, but you just give us your name and your birthday and tell us where your prescriptions are at right now, and we'll call that pharmacy, get everything brought over. A lot of times people are nervous about moving because they're afraid something doesn't have refills or something can't be transferred. And when that's the case, we'll call those doctors, get you new prescriptions, and take care of everything, really. It's like the people, one of them we had transferred yesterday, said they'd been trying for about 3 days to get medicine refilled and just wasn't happening, and was frustrated and asked if we could do better, and called, got everything transferred. Took maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and we had to call the doctor on one, which waiting on doctors can sometimes be a little time consuming, but they got that called in, and by the afternoon we had everything ready for her.
There you go, folks.
So,
it's just that easy. If you're not happy where you're getting your prescriptions filled, come to the Lingerfeld Drug Center. The phone number to call and talk to you about it is?
It's 423-542-2138.
There you go. One of our great sponsors right here of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Get your prescription changed to a mom-and-pop pharmacy that still cares about their people and still wants to give you 100% customer satisfaction. It's right here at Lingerfeld Drug Center beside Carter County Bank in downtown Elizabethton. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Coffee Company, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. You sell coffee and lots of it. Tell us about the coffee here at the Coffee Company.
We do. So we sell lots of coffee here. We've got all of the lattes that you could want, chais, mochas. We have even hot tea. We sell coffee by the pound. So the Coffee Company, our name is the Coffee Company. So we do sell coffee. There it is.
There it is.
That's great.
Yep.
But we're more than that too. We're about community here. So when you come in to get your coffee in the morning or come in for lunch during the day, it's really about the community that you get to be a part of. Locals, people coming back to visit that used to live here. It's a great way to connect, great place for business meetings, sit and study, sit and do work here. We have wireless internet. So there's lots of opportunity to enjoy the coffee and enjoy community.
Hours you're open?
Hours we are open is 7 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and then we serve lunch from 11 to 3.
Social media, how do we find you?
Well, you can find us at our website at tncoffeecompany.com. Search for us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, The Coffee Company.
And the magic phone number is?
Is 423-542-3438.
One of our great sponsors in downtown Elizabeth, and be loyal. Support the local businesses. The Coffee Company, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports.
Hey, my name is Dante, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is the authentic taste of it. You can tell it's freshly breaded, seasoned perfectly, and it just has this unique taste that compares to no other. Once I bite into it,
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we'll take a quick break. Hello, Bart Line. How you doing, sir? And Julie Eastep, as we said. We'll take a break. Ben Fox joins us, head football coach of the Maryville University Fighting Scots, talking Scots football. I like it. He joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show after this from our title sponsor, as soon as I find it, be Ford of Elizabeth. Ford of Elizabeth and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
So here's the deal. An opportunity presented itself for me to come check the dealership out. They said it might be for sale. My wife, my mother-in-law, both of my sisters happened to come last September, and we ended up at the Covered Bridge event, and we just thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it was a blast. We weren't planning on being there for that. It just so happened the time that we came, the Covered Bridge event was going on, and we just loved it. We loved the community, we loved the energy, the vibe, and we felt like it would be a great opportunity for us to serve the community. Because every time I look at a store, I always look at how could we improve the community, how could we create jobs, how could we improve the business, and the upside was so tremendous in the Elizabethton community. I just felt like we could come make a big difference, and we've been able to do it.
You have. Ford, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Elizabethton. Social media, how do we find you?
So Ford of Elizabethton, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Elizabethton. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're everywhere, and we're ready to serve the community, sell cars, and make some happy customers.
Amen. What's the hours you're open, sir?
So we're open at 7:37 in service, and we're open at 8:30 in sales. We stay open till 7.
Our title sponsor, the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports, Ford of Elizabethton, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that is Look, we've got a different team. I think we have 35 new players. Every team in our league, about 25 to 30% of their roster is new, right? So I think some of these teams that we play aren't the same teams that they had last year, and we certainly are not the same team that we had last year. So college football, more than any time in our game, has become 1 year at a time.
Hello.
And I think you start a process in January, you build momentum to the fall, and you do the best you can. And I think ultimately, again, it goes back to what I mentioned earlier. As cliche as it sounds, it's literally 1 week at a time, learning how to have the self-discipline to prepare the same way.
And back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show, let's go to the ponies there. The head football coach of the Maryville University Fighting Scots. Hello, Coach. How you doing? Good afternoon, sir.
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I had to my big fat finger hit the wrong button, but I got you on it. It's good. It does that from time to time. So let's jump in and talk about the Fighting Scots again from Maryville University, down outside of course, for those out of state and out of town folks, it's in essence you would call it Metro Knoxville. And so Maryville, Tennessee, home of the Maryville Fighting Scots. To give folks out there, we got a lot of out-of-town viewers and listeners. What size campus, sir? How big are you? What class are you in? Kind of give us a quick overview of Maryville football.
Yeah, absolutely. So the college has about 1,000 students on campus. It's a residential, private liberal arts college here nestled between downtown Knoxville and the Great Smoky Mountains and beautiful Blount County. I mean, it's really kind of an idyllic place to go to college. It really has become a place that, guys can come and go to school in a place where people go on vacation, which is pretty remarkable and a lot of fun. And it's made for a great atmosphere and game day atmosphere as we've kind of improved and grown with our program.
Having said that, let's jump in and go. 2023 football. Give us a quick review of the Fighting Scott football season.
Yeah, we had a really good year this past season, 2023. We finished 8-2. We were undefeated at home, and the two games we lost, one was in triple overtime, another one was in the last really minute and a half of the game. We were right there talking about individual plays, but really I felt like we took a major step forward as a program. We won some close games, beat some teams that had beaten us the year before, which was really impressive, and I was happy with our team. And then it really led over into a really positive offseason with a lot of hard work, and the guys really are excited about improving and training and getting better, which I've enjoyed as well.
So you look at the roster, it's sprinkled with a lot of guys from the Tri-Cities, namely that guy over in Elizabeth, and a pretty good quarterback, rewriting the record book. So talk about some of your local kids here in the Tri-Cities are on your football team.
Yeah, absolutely. Me being from the Tri-Cities, I went to Daniel Boone High School, and I have just a ton of respect for the coaches in Northeast Tennessee and in the Tri-Cities area, a ton of respect for the players and the quality of football that's played up there, and I want to give them an opportunity to keep playing. If guys want to keep playing and they love football and they're passionate about it, I want to be able to give them an opportunity. We've got, looking at our team right now, Bryson, obviously, for the Northeast Tennessee guys, is kind of the headliner. He's been one of the best players in the country, especially for the last 12 months. He really has kind of blossomed into becoming an incredible leader at the Division III level and an incredible player, and made a ton of positive plays for us. And a lot like what everybody in Elizabethton was used to seeing. He's just a winner and an incredible person, teammate, all those types of things. He's going to be a multi-year captain and all of the good stuff. But more than that, we got a kid named Devon White, will be a 3-year starter, an inside linebacker for us from Daniel Boone, which is my alma mater, and he played for Coach Jenkins, and he has been just a really fabulous player for us for the last 2 years. Amari Red is one of our receivers. He's from Science Hill, and Amari, he had 4 or 5 touchdowns this year. This past season, obviously, he graduated, but Corey Russell was our leading receiver last year and was first team all conference. We have some guys who will come in and replace him, which I'm excited about. We've got several linemen that are in the mix and scratching and clawing to be starters this year, and it just looks really encouraging. We signed, I think, 4 or 5 young players. Guys are freshmen from Northeast Tennessee that are here, and it has been a place where we get a lot of really talented football players, and I'm really appreciative of the coaches that are in the air for trusting me with their kids, and appreciative of the parents and the players for coming here and delivering and being the kinds of players we want them to be.
We're talking to Coach Fox again from Maryville University. We're here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. And so 2024, what do you feel like your strength's going to be your football team, Coach?
You know what? I'm really excited. We've got 8 starters back on our defense and 7 back on our offense, and we've got our punter back. We'll have a new place kicker, but we've got a lot of people that played a lot of football back. You know, most of these guys that are juniors and seniors are going to be multi-year starters, and they were here when we first got here, and they went through 4-6 to 5-5 to 8-2, and they've been a real part of how you develop and grow and get better. And so I'm excited just for their leadership and the work that they've done and the foundation they've laid. Now, I think for us as a team, our defense in the box is really salty. Our linebacking core, we have 3 3-year starters coming back at linebacker. They're really, really good. With 2 starters back at safety and 2 defensive ends back. There's some just really dynamic physical players that are really high-end players at the Division III level. And then offensively, we have 5 or 6 guys back that have started games here. Now, it may be more, maybe 7 or 8 on the offensive line that have started games. So I'm excited for them as they continue to improve. They've worked really hard and gotten a lot better. So I'm excited for them. Obviously, a lot of it's going to depend upon Bryson and how he plays and keeping him upright and him being the very best version of himself. When he's that, we have a chance to beat everybody we play. I kind of jokingly say when you got a shooter, you got a quarterback, you got a chance, no matter who you're playing, and we like our guy a lot. We like him a lot.
Absolutely.
We like him a lot. So,
absolutely. So you've got a coach, you got a quarterback. I mean, you got a pretty good veteran team come back, don't you?
We do. We've got a lot of guys coming back. I think our retention has been really good. We started out, we wanted to set a vision for what we wanted our program to be. And we want to make playing football at Maryville one of the greatest experiences of our players' lives as they pursue Christ, pursue a degree, pursue a conference championship, and pursue the national championship. And we're now on year 4 of recruiting and selling that vision. And so everybody that's involved in the program, that's what they're working towards. They all want the same things because they've all stayed. That's what they want. We've got over 50 juniors and seniors on our roster right now. I'm really excited for them, for the work that they've done. We get to play with adults. For a long time we played with kids. Now we get to play with adults. And so I'm excited for them and to watch our team play. I'm excited to watch them play. We're 1 week into training camp. We don't play till September 7th. So we've got a couple more practices this week. We'll have a scrimmage on Saturday down at Berry College, which should be very challenging. They'll be a top 15 team in the country. It'll be a good test for us. And then we'll finish up training camp and get ready for a home opener on September 7th. And I think it's got a chance to be really exciting. Would love to have as many people from the Tri-Cities come support these guys and support our program. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. It's a great afternoon on an idyllic college setting. You can see kids that your sons and daughters will know that are local legends, and they can see them play at the college level. And I hope some kid comes here and watches and says, man, I want to play college football too, and I can do it. Because I see Devon White playing, and I can play college football too. Or I see Amari Red, or I see Bryson Rollins, or I see Dewey Whaley. I see Wes Irwin. I see these guys playing. I see Tanner Dyer from down at South Green, who's going to be a 3-year starter to tackle for us. I see these guys playing, and I know that I can play college football too. So we'd love to have as many people here as we can.
It's the name of the game. So you start September the 7th. So in closing here, I've not talked to you since last year, and so I want to do this on a fairly regular basis whenever you're available. I love you for recruiting our local kids, and they're playing and being successful, obviously, based on your record and what you're doing. Name, image, and likeness, transfer portal, and just I guess for lack of a better term, Coach, the state of college football right now. Good place, bad place, doesn't affect you down on the Maryville University level. What's your take on everything going on right now in college football?
It's in a place. I know that. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's in a place. I know that. I think that there is a lot of opportunity for the guys to capitalize at the higher levels on some of the revenue and things that they bring into the schools. That's great. What I enjoy about our level is my players love playing football. They play for each other. They love our team, and they just want to get better and develop. I think that small college Division III football, there's still something pure about it, that these guys go to class. They take real classes. They have chemistry labs. Last year Bryson had, he had chemistry lab. He was late every Thursday. Didn't get to practice on Thursdays till 5 o'clock. He's maybe the only starting quarterback in the country that had that going on, right? So it's pretty awesome to watch guys that are still taking classes and passionate about their studies and want to do internships and want to do all these other things, but really love football and get up in the morning and do the weights and do the practice and do the hard. And so I think that's what makes our level different, is our guys really love playing. I can't speak for what's going on at the higher levels. I just know that it's different. And I know that there may be some things that are great about it. There may be some things that aren't great. But I know that our level's not changed that much. If anything, the only thing that's changed is the quality of the players is getting better and better every year. And I think people will be blown away by the quality of football that's played on a Saturday afternoon on Honaker Field in Maryville, Tennessee.
Well put, sir. In closing, how can we keep up with you? What's your website to follow Maryville football?
Yeah, our website is mcscots.com. We will have a live stream. We live stream all of our home games, and that you guys can obviously log on and check out. Our roster is there, so you can look for guys from Northeast Tennessee, our schedule, so they know when we're at home. Our games, we don't charge tickets for the home games, so they're free to attend, so we want as many people there as we can. We want this to be a rocking, incredible atmosphere, and look forward to having as many people there as possible.
So the games are free. I've never heard that. That's awesome. So you can come watch Maryville football for free.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, if they really want to pay something and they want to pay enough, I'll give them the headset and they can call play if they want to.
That's it. Coach, great report, sir. Thanks for checking in with us. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Sounds good. See you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much again. Coach Ben Fox, head football coach of the Fighting Scots at Maryville University in Maryville, Tennessee, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back after this, here's Billy Napier, head coach of the Florida Gators, about the pressure of winning in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that is, look, we've got a different team. I think we have 35 new players. Every team in our league, about 25 to 30% of their roster is new, right? So I think some of these teams that we play aren't the same teams that they had last year, and we certainly are not the same team that we had last year. So college football, more than any time in our game, has become 1 year at a time. And I think you start a process in January, you build momentum to the fall, and you do the best you can. And I think ultimately, again, it goes back to what I mentioned earlier. As cliche as it sounds, it's literally 1 week at a time. Learning how to have the self-discipline to prepare the same way, same level of focus, same detail, same urgency, and get in position to where you can execute and do your job for the team. And I've got confidence in our team because I've been observing the work.
Loyal, buy local. He's up against the big boy chains. We know that. Why Big John's Closehouse? What do you feel like separates you from the chains?
Well, I think there's a number of factors I think that go into that. Number one, we're local folks. We shop with you all in other places. We go to church with you. We're involved in civic organizations with you. What money you spend here stays here. It goes to support the payroll and, of course, local taxes. As far as that goes, it also supports a lot of nonprofits as well as sports teams, little leagues, softball, all kind of different things we try to support. We support all the high schools, both city and county, either through, fence signs or gymnasium signs or whatever with yearbooks and the whole bit. So, what you're spending local is staying local. And also we believe, customer service. I came up through the Patey Lumber Company ranks from many years ago. 1977 is when I started. And if you didn't get up and wait on people, or you didn't speak to people, or you didn't try to help people, you wouldn't go to stick around very long. So you learned, that it was important, not only to try to just ask people, but to listen, find out what they're trying to do, find out ways that you can help them as far as that goes. And so all that's very important to us.
There you go, folks. Be loyal, buy local, support them. Big John's Closeouts here in downtown Elizabeth with a Hammer High Prices. Great sponsor of the Tom Lewis Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports, Big John's Closeouts. Back in the Tom Dolan Sports Show, look who stopped by, our buddy Jeff Birchfield of the John City Press, Kingsport Times News sports writer. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Tom.
He ate before he got over here. What'd you have?
Just the number one meal, just the Chick-fil-A number one sandwich and fries. Always good, though.
You're a country boy. Do you like banana pudding?
Oh, well, you can tell from my belly I like that.
Well, Monday will be the banana pudding milkshake coming out at all Chick-fil-A's. Real bananas, vanilla wafer, cookie crumbles, banana pudding milkshake. Monday at all Food Cities. We'll be back in Johnson City, or we'll be back in Elizabethton on September the 9th. We'll start back when the store reopens. Have done a complete store remodel, so we're excited about that. I don't guess I've asked anybody on this show that said they didn't like banana pudding.
Yeah, I mean, I hope living in the South you'd love banana pudding.
It's a Southern thing. Hello, Bud Street. How you doing, sir? And Judy Oliver. And hello to Wes Frazier, Bart Lyon, Julie Eastep, some of the folks watching the show. So, here we go. Football tab coming out tomorrow. 100th meeting of Science Hill and Elizabethton football in 2 nights. You see the countdown, 2 days, 7 hours, and 36 minutes till we start the season. A lot of buzz. You've been around at all these previews and all these different for the tab. We call it tab. It's a pullout it's a reference tool for a lot of folks for the upcoming season. So there's a lot of buzz. All the teams are excited. Everybody starts 0-0. Everybody thinks they got a chance to win the championship. So it's the calm before the storm.
Calm before the storm, like you mentioned, two of the best teams in the area facing off right there on week 1 with Science Hill and Elizabeth. And today's paper, I've encouraged if people are fans of either team to pick it up because Jamie Combs, who doesn't write as much for us as normal, is more behind-the-scenes guy. He used to be the sports editor up in Elizabethton and has worked with us with John City Press and Kingsport Times News the last several years. Got a 78-inch story that's got a ton of history as far as some of the great games through the years with Science Hill and Elizabethton.
We've been there for 8 of them. It's been my 8th year. We've been there for 7 of them. There have been some dandies. And the last 2 years, the visiting team has won 17-7 in Elizabethton 2 years ago, 27-7 last year in Johnson City. Cyclones have won 4 in a row, 5 out of the last 6. Means nothing tomorrow, Friday night. Take all that and throw it out the window. As I said earlier in the show, he knows this. You're dealing with 16, 17-year-old boys. Opening night, they haven't played football since last October, November, depending on when the season ended. They're all chopping at the bit. Somebody's gonna make a dumb mistake because they're kids, and that's part of it. Miss a pass, drop a ball, fumble a punt, you name it, block a field goal, whatever it's going to be. It'll be, and that's just how it works. Not just in these 2 teams, but across the board. All these kids are chomping to play football and get back at it. And they're 16, 17-year-old kids, and it always goes back to the team that makes the fewest mistakes when they win the game.
You just sound like Stacey Carter where I
oh, really?
talked to him earlier in the week. But no, we're talking about that. And it is true when you got an even matchup like that, false starts, penalties, personal foul, just those dumb penalties, you can get on stuff like that. You got to, you want your emotions high. You're all excited, but you've got to also be able to play under control and play disciplined, and all.
Most coaches will tell you, the ones I've interviewed over the years will tell you the biggest improvement of the team comes from week 1 to week 2. They try and clean up the mistakes. There's going to be mistakes. It's opening night. It's an emotionally charged game. The communities are talking. That's great. 100th meeting, you throw all that in. The Railroad Rumble, somebody gets to take a trophy, put it in a trophy case. There's a lot riding on this. And these 16, 17-year-old kids, somebody's going to goof up, make a mistake. They're not going to mean to. You make mistakes every day. I know I make mistakes. I just did one while ago. Hit the wrong button, cut off Billy Napier on the interview. I do them all the time, so they're going to make mistakes. Team makes the least mistakes is going to win the game. I always go back to, not just this game, every game I call, every game I cover, to me, somewhere in that game will be a kicking game, boo-boo. A block kick, punt return, muff punt, long field, something. The kicking game always comes up big in football games. That's why I always think it's interesting come recruiting time. You hear about running backs and quarterbacks, but nobody ever really touts and talks about, I'm talking about college level, about the kicking game. And yet it is so big and so important. You would think the field goal kickers are some of the guys going to be getting a lot of looks like, well, he's a 5-star kicker. You don't hear much about that, do you?
No, you don't. But the last few years, both Elizabeth and Science Hill have had some really good kickers come through their programs and all for sure. So, that's definitely a big deal. And then talking at the college level, I've been fortunate enough to cover some of the ETSU practices. Their punters looked awesome. Of course, now he's not getting those guys pressuring him right now, so he's averaging 54 yards a punt. But, that may go down when, you're getting guys in your face and stuff like that for sure.
So Will Bowers, the kicker for Elizabeth, and I've seen him in practice in the scrimmage kicking consistently 40, 45-yard field goals. Been doing it. He's only a sophomore, so he is going to be a definite weapon, not just tomorrow night or Friday night, but the entire season for Elizabeth. But anyway, we'll go in there right before 7 o'clock. It'll be wild and woolly. Weather's going to be great. I'm so tickled it's not going to be raining or anything crazy. It's going to be beautiful. Not really a fall night because we're not the fall yet, but it's got a little fall in the air, certainly. It's going to be a great atmosphere, standing room only, ready to go for football on Friday night. The Cyclones and the Hilltoppers. It's one of many. Everybody's gearing up and ready to go. So the tab comes out tomorrow. We would encourage you to pick it up on behalf of the Johnson City Press. These guys have worked their tails off to come out with this tab, and so pick it up and keep it. I use it all year long as a reference point at all the games we do. So it's a great reference tool for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I love it. I was going through a box last night. I got them all. I don't know if anybody wants these. I got your all's tabs 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, and that's great and stuff. And as well as a regular paper tomorrow, too, where we do have a little different, printing schedule and all that. We decided to go ahead and start doing our high school football game previews on Thursday instead of Friday. So it gives people, time to read about the game and get excited about the game on Friday night. So I know besides Science Hill and Elizabeth and on Friday, I know we're scheduled to cover Westridge and Volunteer and Farragut and Dobbins Bennett, and I think Happy Valley and Cloudland and Johnson County and Sullivan East. So all those should be some pretty good games to see.
Yep. We're going to switch to NASCAR. Let me run down the games for Friday night. Daniel Boone will be in Irvine, North Carolina. West Green at North Green. Happy Valley plays at Cloudland. Cherokee at Cock County. South Green at Crockett. I bet it was cool this morning. It was cool here. It's in the low 60s, upper 50s. I bet it was really cool up here in Johnson County tonight. Or today.
I would say
up on the mountain and up in Cloudland. Happy Valley goes there Friday night. Cherokee at Cock County. Crockett hosting South Green. Farragut will come to Dobbins Bennett, Battle of the Indians. We had Joey on earlier in the week, Coach Christian. Hang on. Frog. You have, of course, our game. Tennessee High at Greenville. That's a big one, too. Out of the gate for the Green Devils and Tennessee High. Morristown West, Morristown East for the bragging rights of Morristown. Right out of the chute, the first game, the biggest game of the year on those schedule for those two teams as far as much like the Science Hill Elizabeth and the bragging rights of the city. West Green to North Green. Hampton plays at Pigeon Forge Friday night. Johnson County will be at Sullivan East. Chucky Doak plays at Unaka. Unicoi County hosting Northview Academy, and Westridge. The Wolves will have Volunteer. So there's your high school football schedule of our area teams. Virginia will start, they're like a week, 2 weeks behind, maybe next week they start. So, and here's the thing, as I said yesterday, you know this. You wait all season for it to start. You look up and go, it's week 5. It's week 7. Once it starts, it's like a ball rolling downhill. It just flies by. It seems like it does to me. So, anyway, Jeff Birchfield's with us here from the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. We switch gears. NASCAR. 2 to go, Daytona and Darlington. 43 degrees in Banner Elk this morning. Carl up there working with the boys. 43 in Banner Elk.
I'm glad I wasn't in Banner Elk this
Yeah.
morning. It's a beautiful
I'm
place,
not
but I'm not into that cold weather.
I'm not looking forward to this at all. I wish it could stay like we got it year-round, but it doesn't. So
Yeah, everybody goes, it's football weather when it's like in November, but I'm like, no, it's football weather back in September when I had my shorts on and felt good.
amen. NASCAR, here we go. They're going to Daytona. They're going to Darlington, and they start the playoffs, and it's tight, very, very tight. You got guys there at the bottom trying to stay in. Wallace is out of it now. Bush is out of it right now. Been out of it. Chase Briscoe, I think, is out of it right now. So it's Tyler Reddick gets that win. Any more fallout from the Logano and Hamlin? And who was the other one? Oh, Austin Dillon.
Yeah, well, of course, Austin Dillon had the win taken from him, so that puts him in a position here at Daytona or Darlington where he's got to keep the win, but he got his playoff spot taken, so he's got to win one of these next two races to qualify for the playoffs. You're right about that battle at the bottom. I think Chastain's 1 point ahead of Bubba Wallace, and Chris Buescher's down there battling with him. I mean, it's really good battle there for the final playoff spots. And if somebody like a Kyle Busch can win, it'll take obviously a position away there at the bottom of the top 16.
You like the fact that these last two races, of course, it's rich in tradition, Darlington and Daytona for that matter. These last two races got a lot on them, a lot of leverage, a lot of pressure for these guys to do well. They've jockeyed the schedule around to put Daytona and Darlington at the end of the season. Good move or bad move by NASCAR?
I think it's a good move. I think Darlington next year, if I'm not mistaken, moves back into the playoffs. So, but anyway, I know Daytona, with it, I mean, there's always a wild card there at the end, and also with the used to be restrictor plate. Now I guess they run tapered spacers, but the drafting tracks, so one of those where almost anyone can win and all. And I don't know if you saw today's paper too. We actually had a little bit 2025 schedule, so Food City 500 is going to be moved about a month later next year, and then Bristol's still going to be the cutoff race for the first round of the playoffs.
So the Food City 500 Springs will be moved deeper into the spring?
Yeah, it's going to be like April 13th, it's on St. Patrick's Day, this year, and then next year I think the date's September 13th for the Bristol night race, which is a week earlier, but of course you don't have that 2-week break like you had this year with the Olympics and all.
Interesting. So, did not see that. See, meant to go by and get a copy of the paper today and ran out of time, didn't. So, there you go.
Well, maybe some other people are watching this show, so that'd be good.
That's it. There you go. So, I should have got the paper. There's a lot of it in there today. I'm going to go by and get it after the show and read Jamie's article and read the NASCAR schedule and so on and so forth. So, who typically runs well at Daytona?
Well, like I said, that's a track about Austin Dillon could win there. For sure he's run well. I would expect the way that Richard Childress Racing team seems to finally turn things around that he and Kyle Busch will be contending. Bubba Wallace, I heard Kevin Harvick pick him to win this week, so that wouldn't be a total shock. Chris Buescher, these guys that are all battling for these playoff spots all run well at Daytona. And then you've got, your guys like Chase Elliott that could win there. Some of the guys who are a little higher up in the points, but they need to get points, for the playoffs and all. So it really, like I said, this is one of the most wide open races I can remember.
What about my guy, Kyle Busch? You got a chance?
Yeah, like I said, I think definitely, because if you've noticed the last couple of weeks, I don't know what happened differently, but Richard Childress Racing certainly got their program turned around. I mean, if you wouldn't have had a controversy off, you had not had that late caution, and Austin Dillon would have run away with that race at Richmond. And then Kyle's been running good. He had a good, strong, wasn't a winning car, but is a top, 10 car, that he had all day on Sunday at Michigan. And I mean, I definitely think Kyle's got a shot of winning either Daytona or Darlington.
There you go. Anything else going on in NASCAR? You always got your ear to the ground better than me. Anything else going on?
Well, like I said, the schedule's not officially out, but it'll be coming out. I guess one thing I don't like on that 2025 schedule, they're taking away a short track race at Richmond, and they're moving a race to Mexico City. I know they're so big on the international markets, but I'd rather them stay with 2 races at Michigan, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Michigan or Richmond?
Or I meant Richmond.
Richmond?
Yeah.
So they're taking one of the races away from Richmond and going to Mexico City?
Yeah. And that's tough on the teams because, Interstate 85 from Charlotte to Richmond, that's a pretty easy trip. And, it's little bit of a difficult task to go internationally to Mexico City.
Go from Charlotte to Mexico City. Got to get passports and all that stuff going on.
Yep.
Yeah, and learn Spanish. So I don't
Si,
necessarily.
senor.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see that. I don't get it, but I understand they're trying to spread the program, but I don't get it. So when a couple years ago they had a race there and the smog was so bad, it was a football game. One of the two.
It's a football game, yeah.
Football game. They had the smog so bad down in Mexico, the pollution, air pollution. So, which is neither here nor there. But you take away Richmond short track, which is the backbone of NASCAR, in my humble opinion. And you've said that too. So you take one away from one of the great tracks in Richmond and go to Mexico City.
Yeah, road course. I'm not huge on that.
No. All right. They ain't going to change with what you and I think.
No, but one thing with racing, circling back to Michigan, was pretty cool. After he won Monday, to see Tyler Reddick, honor Scott Bloomquist, after the race. So, I mean, Bloomquist, was arguably the greatest dirt late model racer of all time. I mean, he's second. Really, Billy Moyer had some more wins, but Bloomquist won all the major events and so innovative. I think most people recognize him as the best to ever do it.
If you missed it, he tragically died in a plane crash last week on his farm down in Hawkins County. He was in his 40s, is that right?
No, he was 60.
60. Scott Bloomquist.
He's got a daughter, actually, that attends school here at ETSU. So.
Wow. So you never know, folks. The book says we're a vapor. We're here for a minute. For a little while, we're gone. You don't know. It wasn't that long ago that the Nealons flying to a Gaither concert didn't make it. So there you go. We assume when we leave, and it's a good assumption, we leave here and go from point A to point B, we're going to make it. Not always the case. Anyway, we lose Scott Bloomquist, and so, as you said, the greatest dirt track driver ever, or one of them certainly. So, would he be the best?
I think in dirt late models, I'd consider him the best. He's definitely on the Mount Rushmore. You'd have to put like him and Billy Moyer, Buck Simmons, and maybe. I don't know who you'd maybe put the fourth one. There'd be a lot of debate on who you put the fourth guy there, but probably I think in dirt late models, definitely. And then if you or if you just made it dirt racing in general, you'd probably have him and Steve Kinzer, who's a World of Outlaws champion so many times, and then probably Billy Moyer and I would say Donnie Schatz. That'd probably be your four greatest there.
There you go. That's why we have him on too. He gives you names. He forgot more about racing than I know. So
you know what my kids call me, don't you?
No.
They go, well, I'm Jeff Birchfield, racing.
Your kids say that?
That's what my kids say.
I'm Jeff Birchfield, racing.
All over. Now I'm doing a lot of football for
there
sure.
You go. Amen. See you next week.
All right, sounds
whenever I
good.
can get you back on. I know he's busy. Quick break. We'll come back and begin to wrap this thing up right after this from Ivy Hall Nursing Home on the Tom Daly Sports. One of our great sponsors on Cyclone Football. Again, the great folks at Ivy Hall Nursing Home. Joseph Taylor, tell us what it's all about.
Yes, sir. We specialize in short-term rehab or long-term care. We accept all major insurances. We accept Medicare, Medicaid. What we really love is people that come in that have had a knee replacement, hip replacement, come to Ivy Hall for some inpatient rehab. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We have a full-time respiratory therapist. And Tom, you can see I'm a big guy, so you know I like food. I know good food, and Ivy Hall specializes in home-cooked meals, three good meals a day. You can catch me every day right at the door getting my tray myself.
There you go. That's awesome. How do we find out more about Ivy Hall on social media?
Yes, sir. We have a Facebook page, Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Facebook, or a website, ivyhallnursing.com.
One of our great sponsors, folks. Glad to have them on board. Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. You've been at it for 42 years. A lot of different brands that you carry here. Tell us about that.
Oh, we carry all the major brands in furniture and bedding. Some of the furniture brands like Ashley, Barker Lounger. Barker Lounger is a very comfortable group. They make great recliners. Bassett been around for over 100 years. It's great. Actually Bassett is still family owned. The Bassett still own the company, which is unusual in today's world. Carry England. England's actually a Tennessee. The factory is in Tennessee that makes their products. So it's a Tennessee-made product. So a lot of special orders with that. Green Gables makes a really neat, rustic-looking furniture. Great great looks, great product. Legacy Classic is a great furniture company we deal with. Magnusum is a company that we've dealt with for probably 20 years. In bedding, we carry Sealy, all the top brands, Serta, Simmons, Beautyrest. Tempur-Pedic is our premium line. If you ever sleep on a Tempur-Pedic, you probably never go back to anything else. It's really a great product. Also carry the Traeger pellet line, or the Traeger grill line. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of enjoyment. We all have Traeger grills. We all share recipes, and it's a great product to cook on. Vaughn Bassett is another company. It's still a family-owned company, very large company. They're out of Galax, Virginia, so it's almost a local company. So that's our top brands right there.
42 years. Downtown Elizabethton, Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings. The hours are open. Again, you've told us your normal hours, Monday through Saturday, or what?
Monday through Fridays, 10 to 6. On Saturday, 9 to 5.
Social media, how do we find you?
Facebook is a prominent thing we do each week. We do an ad. It just on Wednesday, have tons of people look to that ad. The website, cannonshomestore.com, it has a full catalog, over 1 million products on that website.
And the obvious, the phone number.
Phone number, 423-543-6937.
One of our great sponsors, the Cyclone Sports and the Tom Douglas Sports Show, love coming here and promoting this product. Be loyal, buy local, buy in Elizabethton at Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings.
In a world where clutter, trash, and debris threaten your property, one man is ready to save the day. He's Container Man, your dumpster delivery superhero. Need to clear out your garage? Call Container Man. Remodeling your home? Call Container Man. Demolition waste taking over your job site? Call Container Man. From minor to major projects, Container Man has the perfect size dumpster for every task. With lightning fast delivery and the customer service of a locally owned company, he will help you restore order to your world. When you're ready to fight clutter, trash, and debris, call Container Man.
We're back. We're ready to go. Andrew Lewis, Northeast Community Credit Union. Readers are winners. Year number 2. We're jacked up to do it again this year.
We're so excited.
Yep, we are excited. And so it's a chance for these kids at Eastside Elementary, Westside Elementary, and Harold McCormick Elementary win some cool prizes for reading. What's going on?
The first 9 weeks, we're going to be giving out those cool water bottles. Second 9 weeks, T-shirts.
T-shirts with a new design.
Absolutely. New color, all that fun stuff. The third 9 weeks, we're going to have a sweet new sticker. We'll get more into that later. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whole point is readers are winners. Year number 2 at the 3 elementary schools and Elizabethton City Schools. Thanks to Northeast Community Credit Union. They're paying for all this through their corporate sponsor, and we love them for doing that. The bottom line is leaders are readers, readers are winners. Year number 2, getting ready to get started up soon, like right now, right away, for all these youngsters, again, at Harold McCormick, Westside and Eastside Elementary. Big thanks to Northeast Community Credit Union for partnering with us to do Readers Are Winners in Elizabethton City Schools. And back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show, let's wrap it up by thanking the guest again. Our buddy Andrew from the Johnson City Press and Jeff Birchfield from the Johnson City Press, and also Jeff Birchfield, as we said, and Andrew from the paper. We had Greg Salyer from Mr. Baseball with the Major League Baseball update, and Coach Ben Fox of Maryville University. Appreciate all those folks. Tomorrow we'll be live at Lingerfield Drug Center. Tomorrow, a guy who lived with Elvis for 2 years in the Army is with him in the Army for 2 years. Pat Ramsey joins us. I am so excited. Gonna bring some pictures of he hung out with the king of rock and roll when he was in the military. Bunked, I think the story goes, he was the bed of the bunk above him, the bunk below him. So he was around Elvis a lot the whole time he's in the service, and so he's from the Tri-City. He's gonna come be with us tomorrow on the show. I can't wait. It's gonna be good. Got other guests lined up and ready to go, so we're looking forward to being at Lingerfield Drug Center tomorrow with Dr. Carter, Eric Carter, and then we will, of course, be ready to kick off the weekend on game day on Friday in Elizabeth on the Food City Friday. We'll be ready to go there and ready to go for game day. Cyclones and the Scienceville Hilltoppers. So all that straight ahead. Have a great Wednesday. If you don't have a church home, we'd love to invite you to Pleasant Beach Baptist Church. We'll be there tonight. The evening Bible study at 7 o'clock. Kids do their thing at 6:45, the Master Club, which is the program. Kicking off a new year, be a good time to bring your kids and get them started the new year on the Master Club programs. A lot of fun. They do games and study the Word and have a good time. They always have a blast back in the Bobby Stout Family Life Center. So we'll be there tonight. If you don't have a church home, on Watauga Road in Elizabeth, then come join us at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church. We'd love to have you. And we are growing, and it's awesome. We had 5 baptized on Sunday, and so the Lord is honoring our church, no question. Psalms 25, 4 and 5 says, "Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths." Verse 5, "Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long." Good way to end it. Back with you tomorrow, 11 o'clock from Lingerfield Drug Center, Elizabeth. Until then, we'll tell you as always, bloom where you planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 2133 today, live from Chick-fil-A on People Street, right down from